This is your number one independent radio, Ray Power 100.5 FM. Hello and welcome to the news desk. I am Idimachi Ikechukwu. First, the headlines. African Democratic Congress holds national convention despite last-minute venue hurdle. Supreme Court approves speedy hearing of TURAKI-LED PDP case. WADAGNI wins Benin presidential race with landslide victory. Teenager kills self, injures at least 16 in Turkey school shooting. We'll bring you details shortly.
As the news drops, it breaks with us. Join us for news on the hour every hour. News desk at 12 noon, Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is Ray Power FM News.
And now the news in detail. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has affirmed that its national convention, scheduled for April 14th, will proceed as planned at the Rainbow Event Center, despite last-minute attempts to revoke access to the venue. Tight security was observed at the venue of the event as top political figures arrived at the venue.
A few hours before the national convention, it appeared the management of the event center will no longer allow the opposition to hold its event as scheduled for today, 14th April, after alleging that the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, described it as a weaponization of state institution to surpass lawful political opposition. The party therefore insisted that its national convention will proceed as scheduled at the Rainbow Event Center. The ADC had accused the FCT minister of what it called a troubling pattern, noting that prior attempts to secure public venues such as the National Stadium and Eagle Square in Abuja were similarly frustrated. The party called for vigilance and urged Nigerians, civil society organizations, and the international community to take note. So far, reports confirm the arrival of dignitaries and party members, with accreditation currently ongoing at the venue. Political observers have since described the situation as a disturbing overreach, warning that such actions, if unchecked, pose a serious threat to democracy.
And still on political matters, the Supreme Court has fixed April 22nd to hear two appeals filed by the Kabiru Turaki-led People's Democratic Party against the March 9, 2026 judgments of the Court of Appeal in Abuja. Led by Justice Mohammed Garba, a 5-member panel of the Apex Court fixed the date while granting accelerated hearing in the appeals. The court ordered the respondents to file their briefs within 5 days and for the appellants to file a reply brief within 2 days, if any, while adjourning. The two appeals by the Turaki-led PDP are against two judgments delivered on March 9th, affirming two judgments of the Federal High Court in Abuja that ordered the People's Democratic Party not to hold its national convention scheduled for November 15th and 16th, 2025, until it complied with relevant statutory provisions, including the Electoral Act and Regulations and Guidelines for Political Parties 2022. The National Association of Air Traffic Engineers has rejected claims by the Nigerian Air Traffic Controllers Association over proposed nationwide flow control and concerns about fatigue, aging systems, and manpower shortages in Nigeria's airspace management. In a statement, the association said the claims did not accurately reflect the current operational realities within the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, stressing the need for a balanced and factual assessment of the sector. NAAE maintained that NAMA had made significant progress in upgrading infrastructure and strengthening operations. The association highlighted ongoing efforts, including the overhaul of the total radar coverage of Nigeria system approved by President Bola Tinubu and the deployment of automatic dependent surveillance broadcast technology. And to Kogi State, the police command has arrested some suspects in connection with a viral video showing the bullying and assault of a student of Federal University, Lokoja. A statement by the police public relations officer, Kogi State Command, ASP Saliu Afsat, says the command acted swiftly following a formal complaint by one Oladosu Sunday, a male student of the Federal University, Lokoja. Following investigations, the command arrested 6 suspects, all male students of the Federal University. The suspects had falsely accused the victim of being homosexual without any credible evidence. The suspects allegedly confined the victim in a room, forcibly stripped him naked, and subjected him to inhumane assault using belts and charging cords while recording the act, and subsequently circulated the video online, which went viral within the university community. The command announced that the case has been concluded and the suspects have been arraigned before a court of competent jurisdiction. And in Kaduna State, Governor Uba Sani has warned that evolving security threats may be influenced by political opportunism, particularly as the country approaches another election cycle. He made the remarks at an expanded State Security Council meeting in Kaduna.
The high-level security meeting was convened in response to recent terrorist attacks across parts of northern Nigeria, bringing together heads of security agencies, traditional rulers, and the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired.
As we approach a sensitive political period,
cautioned against politicization of insecurity,
to exploit division and destabilize communities. Let me state this clearly and without ambiguity. The politicization of insecurity will not be tolerated in Kaduna State. The Constitution entrusts me and my own colleagues with responsibility to protect lives and properties.
He emphasized the need for a proactive approach and focus on prevention.
We believe it's not an ideological issue. We believe we cannot address these issues without addressing the socio-economic problems.
The Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired, reassured that the military will sustain its operation against terrorists, vowing to intensify efforts to restore stability across affected regions.
It's a rallying call that we must put in every effort. I've also demanded from the service chiefs on ground that they cannot be here and we have bandits running all around and kidnapping people unnecessarily. Whoever their sponsors are, whoever their supporters are, they should know. And I want to mention what happened recently at GD, to tell them that now our new strategy is anybody, a friend of a thief is a thief. I've said that severally. Anybody that is doing any trading, any support to them, we find you together with them. We're going to deal with you like the bandit, like the terrorists.
Stakeholders at the meeting agreed that addressing insecurity requires a collective effort built on cooperation and shared responsibility among government, security agencies, and communities. Abimaja Moses, Ray Power News, Kaduna.
You're still listening to News Desk on Ray Power 100.5 FM. In the news, African Democratic Congress holds national convention despite last-minute venue hurdle. Supreme Court approves speedy hearing of TURAKI-LED PDP faction case. And still to come, WADAGNI wins Benin presidential race with landslide victory. And teenager kills self, injures at least 16 in Turkey school shooting. Plus business, entertainment, sports, and weather. Please stay with us.
As the news drops, it breaks with us. Join us for news on the hour every hour. News desk at 12 noon, Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is Ray Power FM News.
Thanks for staying with us. And now provisional results show Benin's Finance Minister Romuald Wadagni has won the presidency with an overwhelming majority of the vote. The Electoral Commission said, based on preliminary figures, he secured more than 94% of the vote based on 90% of ballots counted, sufficient for an irreversible outcome. 49-year-old Wadagni was the favorite to win after the main opposition party, the Democrats, failed to get its own candidate onto the ballot paper. This left Paul Honkwe as the sole challenger. He conceded the election earlier yesterday as votes were still being counted. Wadagni was chosen by the outgoing leader, Patrice Talon, who was barred from running again after 2 terms in office. And still on the foreign scene, a 19-year-old teenager opened fire at a school and wounded at least 16 people, including students and teachers, before killing himself in Turkey's southeastern province of Sanliurfa. Governor of the province, Hassan Sildak, told reporters that the former student used a rifle during the attack, after which those wounded were rushed to the hospital. 12 of the wounded were still in the hospital. Sildak also added that the assailant killed himself when police tried to capture him at the scene.
And now, a business update from Ray Power 100 FM.
In its latest monthly oil market report, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, has reported that Nigeria's crude oil production increased to 1.38 million barrels per day in March 2026. The increase reflects a modest recovery in output, although Nigeria remains below its assigned production quota. And still in business, Nigeria and Morocco are set to take a major step toward realizing the long-awaited transcontinental gas infrastructure project as both countries prepare to sign an intergovernmental agreement this year for a $25 billion pipeline. The agreement, which is expected to formalize political and regulatory commitments for the ambitious project, marks a significant milestone in the development of the proposed Africa Atlantic Gas Pipeline, a 6,900-kilometer network designed to transport natural gas from Nigeria across West Africa to Morocco and onward to Europe.
This is Entertainment News on Ray Power 100.5 FM.
Nigerian skit maker and influencer Cute Abiola has stirred controversy after sharing a detailed video documenting his wife's childbirth surgery, prompting widespread criticism and debate over privacy and content monetization. The video, which runs for over an hour on YouTube, captures the couple's journey from pre-surgery preparations to post-delivery recovery. While some fans congratulated the couple, others were opposed to sharing such personal details online. Still on the entertainment scene, more than 1,400 actors, directors, and filmmakers, including scores of Hollywood stars, have signed an open letter opposing the proposed merger of film studios Paramount and Warner Bros. Discovery. The letter, signed by Emma Thompson, Ben Stiller, Javier Bardem, and Rose Byrne, argues that the deal would harm an already battered U.S. entertainment industry. Paramount responded by pledging its commitment to talent and ensuring creators have more avenues for their work and not fewer.
Ray Power Sport.
A new trial over the death of Argentine football legend Diego Maradona begins today, a year after scandal involving a judge caused the first trial to collapse. Maradona, considered one of the world's greatest players ever, died in November 2020 at the age of 60 while recovering from brain surgery at a private residence. He died of heart failure and acute pulmonary edema, a condition where fluid accumulates in the lungs 2 weeks after going under the knife. And still in sports, Union Berlin has defended Marie-Louise Etta after misogynistic criticism followed her historic promotion to head coach. Sporting director Horst Held condemned the backlash as insane and embarrassing, while insisting the club has complete faith in her leadership. Held insisted the focus should remain on coaching ability and leadership rather than outdated attitudes.
Ray Power weather.
Expect mostly cloudy skies with scattered thunderstorms in parts of the central and southern regions. The north will remain hot and partly sunny, with temperatures rising above 30 degrees Celsius. Residents are advised to stay hydrated and alert to possible rainfall. To end the news desk, here is our last line. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, a former United States president, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And that's it for the news desk. I am Idimachi Ikechukwu. You can now watch and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Raypa 100.5 FM Abuja. News on Hour comes up at 1 p.m. Good afternoon.